all masked up. I love it.
Oh, here comes the plague.
What up?
It's a lethal.
How you feeling?
I'm dying, man. But look, I'm icy. I'm icy as fuck.
Kind of disappointed that you don't have a Christmas mask.
Yeah.
I know. I tried. I've got a white one. It's got white camo. We can try that. How you doing, Bill?
We're good. How are you?
Yeah, man. I'm still alive, unfortunately.
Is it? Are you like sick, like dying, or is it?
I couldn't
cold?
smell. I couldn't smell or taste, and I just could only stay awake like 2 hours a day. But yeah, I'm on the mend.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, man.
Oh, shit. You got COVID?
Yeah, man. Big in the COVID game.
Shit.
Dude, I don't know.
Imagine if we all get sick because we did a Zoom call.
Oh man. New
Alexa,
variant.
do you want to try and get
on my
Blake in here?
speakers?
Yeah, new variant.
Oh, yeah, I should invite her. Give me a sec.
So how's
It's the
activation
Zoom
go for you
variant,
guys?
dude. If we get to the Zoom variant, then I'm happy to report that we slept 12 hours last night with a newborn with only one wake up.
Dude,
Congrats.
Shit,
Congrats.
It's like he knew. King Leo knew. Today was the day to be
Incredible.
rested.
You don't look very rested.
I don't. Oh, hey, come on. Got curly hair, can't do much. Yeah, pretty. We've been going through 4 months sleep regression, so maybe he's out the other end. I don't know. Maybe. I was watching House of Gucci last night to get in the mood.
Oh, there you go.
Oh shit.
Has anyone seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it, but it was not my thing. I don't know.
We're like halfway through it, so we're an hour and a half through it, and then we look and we're like, shit, there's an hour and a half left of this. Wait, where does this go? So we're halfway through, so don't. Yeah,
I like Alexi's background right now.
I had to.
Oh, user.
That's money.
Is there a system to this, Char? We just chatting shit for an
Oh,
hour.
there's fucking loads of people here. I thought there's about 4.
Well, yeah, you got to zoom out, dickhead.
Oh, fucking hell, man. Okay, cool.
Yeah, no agenda. Just wanted to have some old guests on, see if you guys want to chop it up, talk about what's going on in the world at the moment. And I don't know. Happy holidays.
Watching Lord of the Rings
holidays.
for the 30th time.
Mm.
Lord of the
20th
Rings is a
anniversary?
Christmas
Good.
film, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think like how many people we've had on this podcast. It's like pretty epic. And you guys
Is
Is this
I'm
the
just-
full roster?
I'm really happy to be in a room with all these people who do tax evasion so nicely. So
Yeah.
The tax evasion has just begun.
Me and Kid 8 have the same accountant, and we have to be very, very legit because
Ooh.
public stuff.
Here's a good question. So my accountant is saying that you report all of your Ethereum earnings from the get-go, and then when you sell it, you report how much Ethereum's gone up and pay the capital gains on max. Is that what you guys are doing?
when you go out, right?
Yeah.
When you,
That's correct. That's correct.
Can we not
But
do
you
this
claim
now?
it at
Can we
the
not do
beginning.
this now? Please, can we not do that?
Oh, it's Diablo.
Yeah.
You got the puppy.
yeah, you're muted, I think.
Is there
Yeah.
a way to see
Hey
everyone?
guys, how's it
Yeah,
going?
dude. Yo.
Yo, what's up?
Section
What up?
in the
What's up,
top
man?
right, and click gallery.
Wait, gallery.
It's a sausage party. Have you not had any girls on the podcast?
We said
It's
that
something we need
earlier.
to work on.
Yeah,
We
it's not
tried.
representative of the culture. I, for one, cannot stand for this any longer.
I agree, man.
Go
We're
get
too
some girls,
shy.
bro.
We gotta find some girls, man. It's tough being married out here in the streets.
Thanks for rubbing it
Bing
in.
bong.
Send some females our way.
I would if I
That
could.
sounds so weird.
Yeah, not sure I like that.
So G-Mod,
At least he's traveling
preparing
to
for your job, dude?
France. I don't know what Blake is doing. Does anyone have a direct contact with Lirona?
I think we got to keep it a gated community at this point. Who the fuck knows? This is exactly
Have you
how
got
I
any
think Tyler
discussion
pictured
points?
this
Have you got
going.
anything to
Where's
talk about? Or are we
Carson?
just looking at each other's pictures for the next hour?
I don't know what I'm looking at.
We were just talking about taxes. I would love to know like who's going to pay more than 30% and who's going to pay less than 30%. So more than 30%, raise your hands.
Oh, 100%.
Can we do more than 43%?
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Let's see where we're at.
I think I'm at 47% right now.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is I shouldn't give up all my money to StockX for sneakers instead of paying my taxes.
Well, what you should do, you should move to Curacao. That's where I am, and it's I've learned this year that I didn't come here for the tax purposes at all, but I'm doing everything super legit, and yeah, it's gonna be pretty.
What about all these people who are like selling CryptoPunks at a loss to like offset their taxes? Like,
Cunts.
like people are like advertising this shit on Twitter. I'm like, can you actually do that? Like, should I just go buy a punk and sell it for like, just take a massive loss on it?
What you should do,
Yeah.
you should make an arrangement.
That
Make an
buy it
arrangement
by
with somebody
themselves
else.
for 2 million and sell it for 150K.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What if you bought it from yourself?
Well, that's a different conversation.
That's what hotels and big art collectors do, because when they liquidate companies, the art doesn't get liquidated, so they just take the art home, but they use company funds to buy the art and then they just offload the artwork later on.
Is this incriminating? I've got to go if this is going to get.
This is an intervention. You're all fucked.
I think it's adorable that so many of you are learning to do this. I've been doing this for 20 years almost in Texas. There's a lot of rookies in here.
Ooh.
Oh shit.
I was doing it long before I was selling NFTs. So.
All right, give us some pro tips.
Not financial advice.
No, I can't lead you down that path, but I can, individually, I'm happy to talk with some of you.
Now go big. You're our joint accountant.
Camera. Yeah.
And
Wait,
now
Dirk,
Three
are
will be
you-
opening up his own room.
Dirk,
Breakout room, one at a time.
Breakout room.
Use that. Dirk, where are you based? Are you in Switzerland or Barbados or something?
No, it's Curacao. It's an island in the Caribbean. It's next to Aruba, but Aruba is more commonly known.
Oh shit.
It's off the coast of Venezuela, basically.
What a great life. Hence the beautiful patterns in your background and your shirt.
Well, I mean,
Feeling it.
I have to be
Big
on
vibe.
brand a little bit. In the beginning, I had like the waves and the beach background that was fake, but that didn't really sell it.
So are you like a citizen?
Yeah, I moved here because I met my girlfriend and she already was living here for 13 years. So only a year ago I moved here, and I've set my company up here, and then it's all legit. But they're really trying to have some stimulate digital nomads to come to this island, because the only industry here is tourism, hotels and stuff like that. So they made it very interesting for people from the US or other places to come here, work here without a work permit for at least 1 or 2 years. But I'm a full citizen, so yeah, I can live here as long as I want. So
I guess we're all moving there now.
Love that.
Let's fucking go.
So we're all moving there.
Is this the world's largest mugshot ever taken?
Fast
all the
forward to the
incrimination.
documentary, and we're all in jail. This one shows it.
I didn't realize Bill did send this out to Twitter.
Oh, you said we were doing that.
Yeah, towards the end.
Dude.
Oh, in private, not public.
At the end, we'll just
All
throw.
right, I'll delete that then.
We'll all throw it.
No,
on
no, no,
Twitter,
no.
like,
It's
see how
not many people
can
have
get
joined.
through.
This is fine.
Yeah.
Maybe
But if we
someone with
all
some
do
clout
it-
should post it.
Yeah, you had to.
Yes, I guess Bill's just not that popular, you know. It's just,
I don't think any of us are popular. There's like literally 3 random people here.
Ooh. Bill, can I say something? I always thought that your name was Belice or like
Yeah,
Belilis. Belilis. You know, and I thought that was your artist name. And then I found out it was just Bill Ellis. And I was like, really?
No, it's actually Billy Eilish.
It's Billy Eilish. Billy Eilish. Bill and Eilish.
Yes.
Because it kind of went with like the style, you know, kind of like this dark Gothic Greek style. I was like, oh yeah, Belilis. Your art's amazing, man. The detail.
Thank you. So are you.
You're
Are you
fucking,
going-
is
are
that
you
all
gonna be at
ZBrush?
off, aren't you?
How do you make that shit in ZBrush? No.
Yeah, ZBrush and Cinema.
Oh
No.
shit! Really? You sculpt all that?
A lot of it is sculpted, resculpted. Some stuff are scans, but
So
it's all
cool,
like
man.
That's
a
impressive.
blend of using everything.
Yeah, it's
I
amazing.
saw
Fucking legend.
G-Munkin off like years ago, and he opened the presentation with a wanking neon monkey.
Yep.
I've
Are you
seen
going this
one.
year?
I'm doing the titles this year.
Yeah, I'll be there. There's a lot of us going as well.
Yeah, maybe we can converge NFT and conference circuit together.
Yeah.
G-Monk, I saw you at FITC in like 2005, I think,
Mm.
when it was still flash in the can.
Yeah. I've
It's Toronto in Toronto. Oh yeah.
done a lot of those conferences. Done over 100 of them over the years.
Wow.
Yeah, I like it though, man. It's the case study. You get an hour, go on stage, and give it to them. You know, give them your spiel. You know, tell the story.
You prepare for that shit, or you just wing it?
I prepare.
All right.
Now it's actually my speech was like your art. You know, it was there was a lot of like tension breakers in there, a lot of ridiculous, absurdist imagery and gifs that I've had to clean up over the years.
Just
like
drop a bunch of acid and get on stage and be like, wing it.
Yeah, have you ever been on acid on stage?
No, but at FITC Amsterdam, I was definitely on those psilocybin truffles.
Was that a regret, or you're like, yeah, just rolled with it?
Oh, it was a great speech.
Nice.
It was
It's
a
always
great
good.
speech. Yeah, it was fun.
How you feeling about tonight?
I feel good. I'm still
Yeah.
sending out tweets and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Still working. Yeah, we're
Oh, wait,
doing
the
a
drop is tonight.
yeah. It's in 3 hours.
Dude, I'm going in. I'm trying to win one of these.
Dude, did I send you the certificate that we just designed?
Yeah, it's sick.
Yeah,
It's legit.
I
yeah.
gotta add to my 101, my G-Monk 101s.
Nifty's back, guys.
Yo, it's a huge day today. Congrats to Dirk. Dirk, congrats. Mint record over in the Aku project.
Ooh,
Nice.
Yeah, it was crazy. They did. There were some big issues though. A lot of people got charged like for multiple editions, which they didn't buy.
I did.
Mm.
I did. I still have to clean that up with Nifty.
Right. Yeah.
dude, if you can slay from the Caribbean islands, you're so winning. Like that is just totally winning.
Yeah, Nate Hill had a good drop the other day as well with Tim Maxwell. That one
Yeah, I
really
saw
went.
that.
Yeah.
You got
There's Nate.
Stefan tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's a big
This
day.
is tomorrow? Shit. You move fast.
Yeah, it starts tomorrow. It's 3 days. Tomorrow's the big day though.
Tell us about the, you said the contract is like pretty intense.
It's crazy. Yeah. We've been working for like 6 months on the contracts. It's wild.
Legend.
Then Euphoria's got to drop on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks beautiful, dude.
I moved
Very
funds to
impressive.
Nifty and they're not showing in the wallet. So I'm now trying to get Nifty to show the funds in because I was preparing, thinking I'm clever. I'll prepare a few hours ago for everyone this week and nothing showing up.
Are you, as in, like, did you transfer ETH in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's like a new feature, right? Has anybody used that?
I just send prepaid ETH and it shows on the actual like the transaction, but not in actual Nifty. But if you go to the actual code, you'll see it there. So trying to clear it before everyone's dropped.
How long does it usually take to clear? Like
a minute.
Yeah.
It's been 8 hours.
Yeah.
That should be quick.
Chaotic.
It's cleared, as in the money's there. It's just I can't use it on the account.
And that's like on Nifty's end trying to clear it.
Yeah. And we've got Iaphoria, we've got G Monk, Daniel Larsham, Stefan is separate. He's free soloing on his own thing.
He's solo.
Just soloing.
That's a good term for it.
It's so scary to do
Free-balling.
it like on your own.
Oh, you're gonna do fine.
Yeah,
Look
you're
at Thank
gonna-
You X
yeah.
like a week ago.
I mean, Kid 8 did it. Look how that went.
I didn't do it. I had a double drop with someone else.
Xulo's in the house for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh, is Zach in the house?
He's
Xulo in the fucking attic up there.
Oh shit, it's Nick Xulo.
Yo, yeah. Here.
How you doing, man?
Cheers.
Nice
How are
to meet
you?
finally. I want to talk about that collab.
Yeah. Did I accidentally like slip my mouth? I mean, I have a big mouth, so I
No,
was
no,
like,
it's absolutely fine. Mine's big, but you can't see it.
Wait, what? You two are collaborating together?
He's already done a devil, so I've got one from you, one from Xulo. Who else? I've got who else have I got them from?
Yeah, well,
Loads
you
of
can't
people,
release
yeah.
mine because I'm working on something else first.
Too late, buddy. Too late.
You're gonna have to
I'll
wait. You
save
need,
it,
you
right
need
click,
my
save.
permission and everything.
Don't give a fuck, bro. It's coming out.
I've got pictures of you from that night in London.
Say again.
I've got pictures of you from that night out in London.
We'll talk about this another time. We'll talk about this another time. Not for the podcast.
In a breakout room.
Got Nate Hill in the house. What's up?
Nate. How you doing, legends?
What's
up, Nate?
Oh,
what's up?
Hi.
Early morning here in Melbourne, but it's all good. Glad to be here.
Melbourne.
What's up, dude?
Yeah. What time is it in Melbourne?
It's just about 7:30 a.m.
On Sunday or Monday?
Monday here.
Monday. There we go.
Yeah, we're in the future.
10 points to anybody who can figure out what this is.
That's Drake from Hotline Bling.
It's like the most random shit. I've just had this for years.
It suits you. You look good in it.
Oh, thanks. Anybody else got any good ones?
I tried to get some cheap stuff from Primark, but like all I got was this Balenciaga ugly sweater. So
Great.
I had to get it.
Love it.
Wait, holy shit! What do you have on the sweater?
Yeah, what's
It's Bob.
Gecko. Bob. Yeah.
Does that
Bob?
come with
Bob
a
made it.
sweater?
Oh,
my
Waka,
God.
you brought Bob. Let's go.
Is Bob gonna do a drop?
Oh yeah, for sure. He's fucking like a 1,000 bearded dragons and shit.
That hasn't been done yet. That's a good idea.
Yeah, you need a bearded dragon PFP drop.
Yeah, I think I mean, we're in South Park right now, so I was like, they're doing like fucking frogs and toads and shit. So might as well do some bearded dragons. I think it's gonna be really cool.
Hell yes.
So he just chills, huh?
Yeah, he just I think he's gonna shit on my head. So
I was going to say that's going to shit on your head.
You need a pet like that, kid.
No, I've got no.
Yeah, a little iguana or something like that. A little
No,
gecko.
man,
See
no.
down to the ground, bro.
I haven't got the mental capacity to look after myself, let alone an animal. Just no.
That's why I said something small.
I was going to make a joke, then we'll leave it.
Yeah, gerbil.
I told you my thing about rodents and stuff. I'm
Richard
petrified.
Gere.
Yo, we
Yeah,
got
if-
Dave Krugman.
just like get a
Dave.
Ooh,
Where's he at?
Mania. There
Oh,
he
there he
is.
is.
oh beautiful.
Oh, shit. What's up, dude?
Challenge, how you guys doing?
Awesome.
Dylan.
Slime, what up?
What's up, dude? Dude, super.
Wait, is Dave here? Holy shit! I love you so much, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
raised some charity for you, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, you guys did like 75 E's.
think it was
Yeah, insane. And guys, my plan is that we form a council of all the artists that helped raise money, and it's like a mini DAO. And we can decide together like how to distribute the resources to people in a way that it can do the most good.
That's awesome.
Let's
Yeah,
just send it to
I'll start a
Dirk.
group chat.
Send it to the islands. Send it to Dirk. He'll take care of it.
Sure.
We can make our own mountain of cannabis.
That sounds good. That sounds very charitable.
How is the weed out there, Dirk?
Well, the weed is actually pretty good. It's not legal, but that's usually not a problem.
Get extradited on this chat. Let's fucking go.
I think I'll be fine. I mean, still, I'm just kind of talking about that I'm not going to pay too much taxes, but still for an island like this, I'm still contributing fairly well. So I think they'll be okay with me every now and then. You know,
what's the percentage that you pay? Do you know?
Well, I mean, I don't want you guys to hate me.
It's going to be like 8%.
No, it's going to be less than 20.
Damn.
Yeah.
We send it to Dirk.
For me, it's 15, by the way.
Oh, that's not
15.
bad.
Yeah, in Albania, it is 15. Like the maximum of taxes that you can pay is 1.5. So you are welcome.
Oh, wow.
To
Incredible. Wow.
Pretty incredible.
Yeah. It's just the taxes that is good. The rest is not good, like the living. So.
Right. How's the weather?
Good. I don't know. It's not always.
I mean, yeah. I think we've got you beat on the weather. I've never been to Albania.
I've been to Albania once. Tirana.
Oh, okay. The capital city.
Yeah. Just once. I was like 16, I think.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of war bunkers everywhere that are now being turned into cafes and bars, isn't it?
Yeah, they have Albania has the highest density of coffee shops in planet. So yeah,
staying up late.
Yeah, it's mostly about people being lazy, like staying in coffee shops. So it's not like a standard of productivity. So yeah, not a good thing for Albania to share, but about the taxes, it is good. So.
Well, Stefan,
I saw
I
Slime and
hear...
you guys raised a lot for charity. I was trying to find decent charities that help with crypto and stuff, but it's not the easiest to find.
No, I think it was more of like, like a group of friends, or at least they kind of just got together and just decided to raise some money. That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah.
I think you can just do it any way you want. You could do it yourself. You could get a group of people, do like a charity drop or something. Like I'm definitely
we did something here in London with terminally ill kids in hospital. My issue with charities is when the money doesn't go to the people.
Yeah.
It just because there's so many people in charge. So
I agree.
A friend of mine, he did all the legwork, as in because I wanted to get presents for kids, and we went and bought shit tons of Lego. But even now with COVID, you have to fumigate your donation. So we had to get professionally fumigated trailers, and then like decontaminate everything in order to get delivered to the hospital because they're all terminally ill children. So I wish people made donation easier, especially in the crypto space, because a lot of us want to give back so much, and it's hard to find the right ones because you never know exactly. There's no proven track record in the sense of where the funds will go.
I've had luck with Mind in the UK, for mental health. I've been donating my Patreon and part of crypto money to that. So if you guys want to donate to mental health, I think that's a good one.
Sick. Yeah, I'm down. I mean, I think, it'd be nice if you could just leave it all in crypto somehow and send it to like an anonymous account that is like run by people that we know, but like, but who
eventually most charities would just have to set up their own wallets because it would just make more sense. it's all on chain. It just been much easier.
Yeah, you could see every transaction.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, they end up buying CryptoPunks with the donations.
Yeah.
And then selling them to avoid the tax implications at the end.
Yeah.
The problem, honestly, just speaking, from a professional standpoint, the problem there is that charities have to note the value of the donation the moment it comes in. So usually, if it's an asset or security, they have to move it immediately. They've got to sort of cash it out immediately to take it. So they actually shy away from that because of the hassle of counting how much the value is. That's why there's a lot of pushback on taking crypto donations from these charities. So it's something that they're going to have to move into. But even like if you donate stocks to them, it's the same thing. They've got to liquidate those stocks immediately to lock in the amount that you just donated.
Is that because otherwise they will come across as they're trying to profit it?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah, because they're not allowed to take a profit on that donation, and so it's a hassle. So most of them on something like crypto, that's not they've got a stockbroker on staff that just does it. The moment a donation comes in, they liquidate it immediately. But for something like this, they're just not equipped for it. So it's something that we way to bring the room down.
Bro, bored everyone. Are you putting this video out, boys?
Oh yeah, you know it.
Threesomes, hasn't he doxed himself now?
Oh, he's been out and about giving people cards who come and meet him in real life. His face isn't hidden anymore.
I'm not hiding my. I mean, everybody's assumed that I'm hiding my face because of my PFP, but everybody just makes the assumption that that's me. That's on them. But no, I'm not. I am a good-looking boy. Two of us here in Miami was quite the picture.
I want to hear about Anime Phase 2 pretty bad. If Stefan wants to give us a quick and dirty on that.
Ooh, yeah.
What's happening? What do you want to know?
I want to know about the contract. I'm curious.
So basically what we built is it's an entire platform where the auction is also a smart contract. So the auction is it's quite complex itself, especially because we're dealing with a lot of NFTs. So the sale is around 20,000 NFTs, and on layer 1 it becomes very expensive. And I wanted it to be like affordable for everyone to like get in the project. So the starting price is like $150 for each NFT, which is like really low for an NFT on layer 1 without loss. Because usually like on Nifty, you see those like edition that are like $1 or like $50, people do like $99. The artists don't really mind because the artist doesn't have to pay for the mint. They're just doing the edition. But Nifty actually has to pay for the mint. So now they have better contracts. But like back in the days, like when we all dropped on Nifty at the beginning, we were doing like super cheap edition. And they were paying like $200, $300 per mint. So some of the editions that some of us did, some of the open editions that went wild, especially at the beginning where they were like minting. Remember where you had to wait like a whole day to receive your NFTs because they were minting them like one by one? They were spending so much money in mints. They were actually a loss. So without trying to bore any of you, but basically making this auction very efficient was a real challenge. And then the platform itself, because once the auction is over, whether it goes well or not, you'll receive these NFTs. And then these NFTs are like, think about the pages of PAC, but a bit different. Like pages of PAC are ERC 1155, so they have no like non-fungibility, but basically they have no data on chain. They're just NFTs without nothing. These are ERC 721, but they have trades. So the image itself is common shared through all the 20K, but the traits of each token is custom to the token. So you get like rarities, you have like the usual stuff for like a collectible project, right? So all the traits and stuff. And then you on our platform, you go on the website, you'll be able to merge these NFTs to create a new NFT, and you create the NFT yourself. So imagine like a character creation in GTA on your PlayStation, where you like pick the clothes, pick the jacket, you pick the pants, all of that. You do it on our platform, and the traits that you can pick, like the colors, the weapons, and all of that, are based on the traits that your spirits, or if you have Leanime, like you can merge Leanime too, that your Leanime or spirits have. So if you have like 10 spirits and one, just to make a blatant example, one is blue, one is red, one is yellow, one is green, you can pick from each. Then you have those colors available. You can pick which one you want. Then if you have like same of the same attribute, you say you have like 5 with a book, that gives you an upgrade. So when you pick the book, you'll be able to level it up. So we'll go like level 3. Then if you like level 1 more than level 3, you can still pick level 1, but you basically unlock like level ups for trades. If you have different trades, like let's say you have a book, a sword, a shield, and a flower, you'll still get points from like every trades get a score. So you still get points, and then depending on the score, your hero itself, so the PFP of the guy that's like this will level up. So you'll move around, you'll get different poses, and like they get cooler as you level up. You'll be able to display more items. So you'll be able to display the sword and the shield and the book and the flower and blah blah, etc. So ideally is that the more you have, the more complex your hero looks. Then if you like, let's say you're a minimal guy, you don't like the cluttering, so you don't want an art piece that is like full of fucking weapons and all kinds of colors. You can just disable which one you want to disable. So you can only show one item and say, okay, I have like a super strong hero, but I'll display just a super clean version of it where it's like all black, all gold. You match it how you want. You make it really cool. But then on chain, it will still say this hero is sick. It has all of these wrapped inside. And then the hero itself will gain experience if you keep it merged. So like keeping it together makes sense from like a collector standpoint. So you're like incentivized to keep it together. Then if you buy more, you can add them to the hero, so you can add more stuff, make it progress. And then anytime, it's not a burn mechanic, so at any time you could like destroy the hero or get all your pieces back, and you can trade them, or you can trade the hero itself. So yeah, it's pretty. This is all in one contract, and like contracts have like limits of space and how much like they can have inside, and making transaction cost efficient for this was fucking nightmare. But yeah, now we're pretty much there. So
after we mint, when do we start fighting each other with our characters?
So yeah, basically the plan. Wait, this is going now, right? So the auction is tomorrow. It's 3 days. Then after a couple of days, you'll claim the NFTs. We need like a few days of buffer, just from a blockchain perspective point of view. We have to like put everything on chain, and it's 20,000, so it takes a little bit. After that's all done, you receive all of your NFTs, and then there's a period of like 2 weeks to 3 weeks of buffer. Again, things about like pack, how it's like starter his drops. So because it's already a lot to take in, the auction itself is like, people need to understand it's quite complex, which is what freaks me out, because like, will they understand how to do it? So dropping everything together was a bit much, so it's like staggered. And then after 3 weeks, you'll create the heroes, and then eventually at some point you'll be able to sort of play with it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Who do you collaborate with to like manipulate? How do you build the user experience?
My roommate Mauro, we've been working together for like 7 years now, before NFTs. He's a very clever musician and mathematician, and he learned Solidity like a couple of years ago when we started like doing crypto, because I was doing crypto before I was doing art. Because I started doing art basically with crypto like a few months before on Instagram. So he learned Solidity.
Was that the shaggy dude you brought to New York?
100%. Yeah,
I love that guy.
Yeah, he's cool, man.
He looks like he's like throwback style. He looks like he could be on Wayne's World or something. He could be in the band.
100%. Yeah, 100%. Mars got quite a look. He's wild. Yeah, he's wild. He's fucking genius. So he's doing all the contract stuff.
That's so cool.
Going crazy. Yeah, he hasn't slept in a day.
I feel like in this group we should have like focused sessions, like men's groups. This is a men's group. We should have like men's group manipulating the blockchain class. And then we should have men's group fucking, this is how you pay your taxes. And we should have men's group, this is how you move to the Caribbean. You know, those could be our first 3 topics. This is how you move to the Caribbean.
I need to learn more about the blockchain, dude. Right now I'm making fucking images. Like, gotta figure out how to do shit a bit more complex.
I'm on
to
that.
be honest, like,
so much to do.
I'm trying to
lot of
get
people-
more into the blockchain stuff, but printing
Yeah.
pictures is where my game's at as well for now.
It's hard now. It's hard now because like Solidity is new, obviously, and it's like for artists that like digital artists that are like visual stuff, like coding. Obviously, it's out of your assets, and then you look at blockchain, you're like, holy shit, this stuff's so complex. But Solidity is actually very, very, I'm like crucified here, but it's very simple, a simple language. So for a coder, it's a very simple language to pick up. And right now, obviously the scarcity, because that's not like, it's all new, but in like a year, Solidity developers will be everywhere because there's so much money in it, first of all. So like coders that are like studying way more difficult languages, they'll be like, holy shit, wait, these people are making millions coding with Solidity that is like a child's language. Because if you look at a contract, if you actually sit down with someone that can guide you through the contract and you read the code, it's not like if you open a software and you look at the code of like ZBrush or more complex coding, you break it down. It's like, oh, this does this does that. If that's not there, do that. It's like very, very simple. Then the complex part is knowing like how to use libraries, how the blockchain works, and like all the technical stuff becomes really tricky. But the coding itself, the language is not hard. So in a few years, like a year, I think a year already, like you will see a fucking evolution where like Solidity developers will be basically everywhere, and at that point it will be a lot easier for artists like us and like you guys to have like find a buddy that's like, yo, dude, this is my art, and it's like, yo, fuck, this is sick. Like let's work together. I'll do the coding, you do the art, and we can smash out some sick stuff. Because like right now it's like there's very few groups. Obviously, Manifold that everyone knows is like on everyone's mouth, but in the future, there'll be plenty, I think, plenty of groups of individuals that are like, yo, we do contracts for artists, just hit us up, blah, 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 blah. So it'll be a lot easier to put mechanics into place and whatnot.
Is this stuff compatible with the Nifty gateways and super rares yet? Or?
Yeah. The thing is, like, for example, platforms are slow to adapt. Like super rare, I asked, I tried to do smart contracts on super rare more than a year ago. And like they were like, no, man, like this is not gonna happen. And then I was like, you should do it like as soon as possible, because like the future is obviously like custom platform. The artists are gonna do their own website where they do their own job, where they have the freedom to do whatever they want. Like some artists want to do something that like on a Wednesday is blue, on a Thursday is purple, and the tech allows you to do it. Why should I be gated to a 50 megabyte video on super rare, which is absurd? When you could upload a video of like 6 hours, 100 gigabytes, like the tech is there to do it. Why are we like fucking locked in, right? And obviously at the time the pace is going forward, they're like more interested in like, oh, let's push on the stuff that gets us money rather than the stuff that pushes creativity, right? Without bashing super rare, because like I love super rare, but same for Nifty. Leanime, for example, when I did Leanime drop in March, I did all the contracts for Nifty. And I was like, these are the contracts. You just have to put the Nifty gateway name on the contract and it's ready to go on your platform. And they're like, no, this is too risky because we don't even know what it is. So we had to do like smart contracts outside, the ghost character, etc. Like go around it. But the platforms could totally do it. You saw Nifty did like Arsham with smart contracts. That contract is like really cool. Everyone was like, oh, this is super revolutionary without bashing anyone. Like I love the guy, love the drop. But that contract is manual, for example. Like the fact that it changes during the season, they have to manually say, yo, change. It's not like, oh, it's winter, now it changes, which is something you can do automatically, but they didn't. So they're behind. They're just behind. It's just a matter of like going forward. Nifty is pushing a lot now on the contracts. They are really, really pushing a lot. The fact that now they can like integrate and whitelist projects from from outside, like OpenSea. You saw, I'm sure you guys all saw, like they have like Collectibles now on. They're importing projects from outside. They can do mechanics. I'm planning a drop of mechanics. It's not too much like drop, but it's a drop of mechanics on Nifty, and like they seem like it's gonna happen. So I think custom contracts on Nifty will and Super and et cetera, will definitely happen.
I think the problem with a lot of platforms as well is they're trying to cater to like everyone that they have, but only select few of us have the ideas. I mean, I don't have the technological know-how of how to do it, but I've got the ideas, and a lot of us, I mean, you guys smash it because you know people to execute the ideas, and I'm on a journey to find people to help me execute what I want to build. But as artists, at the end of the day, is what comes to our brain, there will be people that will help us like execute the idea. And a lot of us, we can just go direct because the audience is ours. So a lot of these platforms are amazing as a stepping stone as well. And when you got a standard fan base, but I think for the very progressive and experimental projects, we kind of have to find our way of our own and almost test the waters a bit. Because Stefan, you tested on your first drop, and now you spend like half a year building what you're building now. And like Pac at first tested it, and now he's just like really open and he's just doing whatever the hell he wants to do in a sense, and people are following through. So I think people need to be educated a bit, and a lot of us need to learn or find the right people to help out.
True, 100%.
Yo, it's so good to see all you guys. I got to jump off.
See you later, Pete.
Bye.
See you later, man.
Later, guys.
That was an inspiring run through, Stefan.
Let's get it, baby. Let's get it.
I feel like shit about myself now. Thanks for that, man.
I feel like, yeah, the takeaway is like, obviously all of you are smashing it, but the takeaway is like, don't get in that mindset where you're all again constrained to rules. Like the blockchain is for everyone. If you think about some crazy stupid shit and you're like, this is insane, just fucking do it. Just find someone to do it. Like reach out to people and be like, yo, this is mad, you want to try and do it? And like you'll find developers somewhere. They'll be like, oh, this idea is actually mad. It might not work, but just fucking try it, you know?
Maybe we'll just use your roommate.
Yeah.
Between your
Jerome
drops, we can dip in there.
How much do you want to give your roommate?
Yeah, you get a cut.
Tell
You get
your
like
roommate.
5%, 10%.
I'm not selling my roommate.
So, Roger, you're a voice that all of us in this room admire and really look up to, like your whole platform that you have within this industry. I was wondering if you had any macro thoughts going into the holidays.
Pressure, man. What do you want to hear
That
about?
was fucking meta.
Let's go.
Give us the macro.
What do you want? What do you want the macro view on?
Give me a rough draft RD report for the new year.
All right, so I'm writing this thing, right, where actually this is really apropos because I was thinking back to this year and what means the most to me, and bar none, it's been relationships and like real friendships developed with a lot of artists and a lot of builders in the space. It's what I'll take forward forever. And so I've had like the opportunity to talk with a lot of people behind the scenes, but you realize like you can't do that for everyone, right? So I'm writing this little piece to give some advice out. And my biggest piece of advice when reflecting on like the market and certain questions I get from artists or certain advice I've given out here, there, everywhere is this: what are you optimizing for, right? That's the big question that I'm putting out there, which is like, okay, do you want to optimize for a top one of one sale? Or do you want to optimize for market cap? Do you want to optimize for community? Like there's, I kind of have 5 buckets, right? But I think what do you want to optimize for is a really key question, because I've heard things like this. Why didn't my something sell like someone else's something? And sometimes what I think is a shame is that I'll look at that and I'll be like, well, it's because of the quantity, or it's because of this. And sometimes the market cap's even bigger than that other person. And so biggest piece of advice is, what are you optimizing for? Be clear on that, and then kind of set your eye on that result, right? if you're optimizing for market cap, maybe the one-of-one like mega sale is not going to be there, and vice versa, and community and reach and all that. I don't know if that made any sense at all, but that's what's been on my mind. It's like have your personal goal clear in mind, and then base your measure of success on that.
That's actually really good advice, because you know, I've been seeing, you know, when I first got into the space, like, you know, a year ago, it was all about, you know, one-on-ones. And for me personally, I've been trying to keep my collection very scarce, because I, you know, like I thought, you know, like scarcity was key in this game. But then you see all these PFP projects come in, and it's like nobody gives a fuck about one-on-ones anymore. It's like, how do we get the most rarest, you know, PFP project? So I've been like grappling with these two things, like which direction should I go in now? Like, should I stick to what I've been doing this whole time, like stick to the one-on-ones, or do I move and try and do some type of, you know, generative project?
Don't do it. Can I just say, sorry to cut you off, as an artist, don't do a generative project, because it's just, it's not creating the art. It's not that, it's the community building, and then it's keeping the community happy, and then just constantly having, like, every day you wake up and you've got to once again prove yourself to a new set of people. Like, people will jump into Discord and they want you to explain to them why they should invest in you. And like, as an artist, it's like, it's demoralizing. So just don't do it. Any artist thinking of doing a generative project, just don't do it. Just honestly, I can't say this enough times. The amount of people I've said this to that have then done it and have fucked up, don't do it. Just genuinely don't do it.
That's massive advice too, because what
I literally have one coming out today.
I told you not to do it. If it flops, I'm telling you right now, if it flops, I told you not to do it, bro.
I have a huge one coming out today. It's all right, because we kind of have the same model. We do all the one-of-ones. We also do the additions, but I've also mixed in generative. So it's like, yeah, I have like a
heart is going for you. My bum hole's like this because it's so much work.
Dude, my balls are in my chest this whole meeting. I have 30 minutes until the first pre-sale. So, but yeah, I think if you just do the generative and there's like
30 minutes, I better start flooding. Where there. Shaka said, let me go on Twitter. Shaka blog.
It's just, I think it's okay. But yeah, the community part, you get like 50-50. You get like the crazy people, and then you get the people that care. But then, you get the where's whitelist shit. So it's, yeah, you kind of lose credibility when you do generative, because nobody really cares about all the stuff that came before.
Yeah, you're not an artist. They'll basically just dev or a project leader. Like they really don't give a fuck about anything you've done before now or even afterwards. Like there was people on the day of my drop coming in the Discord and was like, "Who's Kid 8? What's evil? Like what? Like can I get on the whitelist? I'm part of the community." And it's like, you fuck off, man. It was. Sorry, I've hijacked.
Bro, you remember that guy who came in looking for the metaverse key, and he was like, "Where do I get the metaverse key from?" He's like, "Bro, like not from here. Like this is the Kid 8 job." He's like, "Who's Kid 8?" I was like, "Bro, you're in the wrong place." But then like 20 minutes later, he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna mint 10 of these things." Like, you got to twist their arm a little bit, but yeah, man. It's not.
Luckily, like we got ours out like pretty much near the top. I think next year, like talking to Roger about, I don't think profile picture projects are going to be the thing. And I think all of us here, like artists or devs or whatever, sort of need to work out what the next wave is, because we've hit the top. There's no more animals. We can't do any more animals. Like I overheard just normal people the other day talking about NFTs, and they said, "Oh yes, they're all monkeys." Like there's normal people that think NFTs are just monkey pictures. And then when you see things like the Takeoff from the Migos did a drop the other week, and it's literally just a rip-off of Bored Apes, but like they've got dreads and they've got different clothing. And then the utility of the drop is he's going to take someone to space with him. Like all these things, I don't think are positive for the NFT space. Or
what about bearded dragons? I'm just saying.
Yeah, bearded dragons. That hasn't been done yet. That hasn't been done yet.
We should all chip in and do the bearded dragons collection.
We should have done Spurge.
The problem as well is when a lot of us started, NFT was a space for art in the first place, because a lot of us came from years and like decades of just doing art and design for us in a sense. And NFT was finally the medium and the space to sell our artwork in a sort of native format. And then that blew up, and then PFPs started coming out, and then everyone was doing PFPs and collectibles. And I think the lesson I've got from it is do what is good to you and what's different, as in like everyone's doing PFPs, and then naturally you will think that that's what you need to do to succeed, but then it'll just be the same as everyone else. So it's in a sense finding the ways to do something special, like so many people like Pac and Rafik are doing. They're still true to the art and the experience, whether they increase the size of what they deliver or they limit it. I just think PFPs, I mean, the ones that really win are Punks and Apes. X-Copy as well, pretty good, but the rest of them, it just feels to me like it's all about money. There's no one really cares about anything else but just making money of it, and that's fine. And we understand. If we're honest about what it is, then we understand the nature and its purpose. But the problem is that ideology falls into the art world in the NFT space, and all these artists doing experimental stuff and incredible artwork. People come to them with the expectation that because they learn what PFP does, that they should be doing the same, when it's not the same. And it's the same with photography and art and experiences and music and digital poetry, and everything that is happening in this space cannot be used with the same brush as the PFPs, and same as the art can be used the same as PFPs. Like, things need to separate and get their own identity before the same shit happens all the time, which is what's the utility and what you're doing next and what's coming next. Should I buy it? And I bought this yesterday and it hasn't mooned tomorrow. It's not how it works.
Yeah, I think most people that have been doing art for a while, they're already kind of used to this, because as an artist, and I know a lot of people like that, you have a certain style, but you're always jealous of these other styles that all these other artists are doing, and you try to learn as much from them as you can, but you know that you have to do you. I mean, there's no sense in trying to be what anybody else is. And it's the same with these PFP projects. If you can do something and it really connects to what you were already doing, or you're really inspired by, then it can make sense. And it's kind of going back to what Roger said, like, what are you optimizing for? But kind of coming back to that, I was just curious, Roger, like your own project, like the Artifacts project, what would you say that you're optimizing for with that project?
For sure, long-term legacy, right? I want the PFP thing to shake out a bit, and I think it is, right? And like long-term legacy, it's that project's literally created because of what all you savages are doing. Like, you're all trailblazing in NFTs, and it's trying to hold that up historically and say, these were 100 of the people. Obviously it can't be everybody, right? But it's like, these were 100 of the people who were doing the damn thing in the wild, wild west, because there's no doubt that digital art, and now digital art can be owned. There's no doubt that art as an NFT will matter, right? So let's not be like clouded by the PFP craze. Like, art matters. It always has. It's even in whether you go monetary terms, whether you go emotive terms, it's always mattered. It will continue to matter. That's what that project's about. Like, come out of those trenches years later and have something to look back on and be like, these were 100 of those savages. Cross industry, photography and landscape and precision and the pioneers in the future, and just 100 different ways to slice this space. But that's the heart of it. And one last thought on that, because Kid 8, I wanted to say, what you said really landed with me. It's like, when you take on a project like that, the community that comes with it, the trading interest that comes in it, the questions that comes, the DMs, the expectations, like it can be insane. And so I want to say, like, one thing to optimize for, or that's a perfectly like valid decision to optimize for, might not be the top one-on-one sale, might not be market cap, might not be this, might not be that. It might be quality of life. Like, optimizing for quality of life is a thing. And you can do really, really well doing that. Just something to consider.
I agree with that. One thing as well, like, as like an artist, but also I think the difference when you do like a big generative project, like, you can't curate your collectors. So let's say you're doing one of ones on Super 8, you can sort of choose which bids you have, and you can talk to your collectors and sort of build bonds. But as soon as you do something that you've got no control over, it's so like, you've created a baby. I've literally created a baby and I've put it out there, and there are people that are mistreating this thing that I've created, and it's a lot. And I don't think a lot of creators that have since done generatives haven't really took that on board, because there's a difference like between being a dev and hiring like 5 artists to just do some layers and then flipping through a Python script or whatever. You've got no emotional attachment to that. But as an artist that's tried to do something like that and creating this idea and this character, and just having it so disrespected by a huge amount of the community just because they wanted a quick flip overnight. I could never have anticipated that. So yeah, if anyone is an artist thinking of doing a generative project, just don't do it. Like, I'm not being an arsehole. It's not worth it. It just genuinely is not worth it. I'd much rather, I'm not saying I regret doing it because I love it, and the community that's rallied around it is unbelievable, but it is 25/8, 390 a day. Like, you cannot ever switch off. You can just never switch off, especially because, yeah, sorry, I've fucking rambled on.
25/8. Is that a thing?
This feels like this was an intervention from me.
Bro, it is. I told you, it's gonna fucking ruin your life. It's gonna ruin your life.
I will say, like the character thing that I've done, like I had so much fun with it. I'm still a lot of fun, but yeah, after like a month and a half of doing like the preparation, the rollout, and all that, it's like it's a lot.
Can I ask, are you releasing the IP with yours?
No.
I started that. The amount of FUD. So I had to. What's the expression? I had to fall on my face so you could fly. Like, I was the first person that said, no, this is my creation.
Yeah.
You're not having it. And the amount of FUD that I had just from that, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, I actually remember that. You had to like do a 6-part thread or something about like talking about how not to do it.
Yeah.
I remember those tweets.
Anyway, enough about me.
But I actually have to head out because I have to. It's actually about to drop, which is, I'm gonna go to my actual Twitter Spaces, just crying. But thank you everyone. I'll talk to you guys later. Yeah, honestly, I'm excited.
Yeah, get it, Shaka. Don't listen to Kid.
Enjoy while you still can.
Fuck that guy.
Talk to you guys later, man. Have a good one. Happy holidays.
Bye, Shaka.
Bye.
See ya.
My New Year's resolution is to be more like Slime Sunday. So I went out and bought a bunch of vintage Playboys, and I'm starting to scan them now.
Dude, fuck yes. Let's go. Dude,
I think Bill's right, though. Fucking just,
I do too.
Just continue to do our thing, make great art. The rest will take care of itself. And talk to Stefan more.
Yeah.
I like what D-Face did.
If you want to talk, just
hijack Stefan's roommate, make great art.
Yeah, Stefan, can you make a one-of-one auction tomorrow that's your roommate?
Slide in my DMs.
Go for a beautiful
roommate. Yeah, I'm just gonna bid on it myself.
Guys,
I
got to
shout out D-Face.
J-Monk. Fucking love you guys.
Oh,
bye,
J-Monk.
We'll see you tonight.
Congrats. Peace.
Big shout out to D-Face when he did that no roadmap thing. When he was dropping those 100 NFTs, and people were like, will there be like any utility with these? And then he was like, no, it's just art. And I love that. I felt like that was refreshing to see in the time where PFPs were like the madness. So shout out to him.
Yeah, I love that. He's just like, fuck that. Yeah, fuck the roadmap. Just make art.
Yeah, we're artists. We're not like anything else except for Stefan.
I think the IP discussion is a good topic as well, because there's so many expectations now just to give the copyright, where it's happened because a lot of PFPs where people will expect to, well, you buy it and you monetize, and that's fair for collectibles that agree with this ideology, but we can't just impose these ideas because it's happening in one part of the space. We can't impose it in all other aspects of what everyone's doing. Like,
yeah, it makes sense with profile pictures, but you can't apply IP to like art and one-on-ones. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but a lot of people expect that now, and I just think things are moving so fast, and then some expectations are just frankly absurd in a sense, and it's a lot of us can make statements with what we make, but yeah, I mean the intellectual property one really grinds my gears at some points when it's artwork. Well, no, that's the whole point of the art. You can't just, otherwise we'll just be sticking it up and selling all the rights to music labels all the time.
Exactly.
What's interesting is like there's been a huge confusion of like just because they're both NFTs, of equating profile picture projects with one-of-one art, but they're completely different things. They're just using the same technology.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I mean, it's ridiculous to even, I think that people think NFTs and they think, oh, well, all the rules should be like cover everything. but the functionality of a profile picture is more like a club membership than it is, there's art involved, but in the same way that like, there's art involved on your Broadway ticket, there's a picture of something. So I think we all should kind of put our feet down and be like, listen, like, I agree that for something like Bored Apes, like the amount you gain by giving up the IP to the community is like you gain community investment. And when you're that widely distributed, that makes a lot of sense. But for one artist to think that they have to give away their IP to their like, a creation that took them a decade to arrive at is just absurd. I think we need to make that distinction very clear.
Yeah, I just think the general public thinks like, what is NFT? It's profile pictures. That's like the general consensus of people outside of the space. But educating and letting people know that there's different neighborhoods and different avenues to go down, there's all sorts of things to explore. And I think maybe just educating the general public about that, rather than like you watch South Park,
all they talked about was PFP.
Yeah.
I think NFT is more of the medium, is not necessarily what we create. So not everyone can be classified the same as collectibles and all these other things. But I think with time, the categories will differentiate and people will understand the difference. I mean, I can't remember where the article was from. Pablo shared it about Rafiq. And I think it was an art critic, and it was his first NFT experience. And he mentioned his pre-notions of what NFT was. And then he saw Rafiq's piece on the beach, and he was like, well, this is art. It's like, I don't even call that NFT. It's just a piece of art in a sense. So I think the medium is amazing, and I'm very grateful for it. But it's also, a lot of people do not understand what a lot of us are trying to do.
Exactly. No, I totally agree with that.
Yeah, word.
That's true.
There's different lines too, right? There's like, I could put a one of one that I own on a shirt, and I don't think the artist would get upset. But if I tried to resell that or use that in another medium, like obviously that's against the rules. But like, how do you guys feel about that? If someone owned a one of one from you, would you care if they put it on a t-shirt and weren't selling it to other people, right? Just for themselves.
I mean,
That's
personally,
awesome.
I'd like to personally create the physical for the collector. But then the other problem with owners going and doing what they want, well, then you completely cut off the whole point and the magic of NFTs, which is the original royalty to the artist. Because if someone goes and makes clothing or prints or whatever assets they want to do from that creation that they've bought, how are you going to regulate? How are you going to check this?
It's a good point.
Just got to trust the person enough. I mean, if you're walking around with a t-shirt, you're promoting that artist. If you love that artist and you're wearing their art, like, I don't mind if, one of you guys did that, and that's just kind of showing off, the love for the art. But I agree with Bill. It's just, you don't know these people.
There's already a lot of laws covering this stuff, and I think a lot of it is still gray area, like to what degree can you remix somebody else's art? And I think the laws, at least in the USA, if you create a new like independent artwork with it, then it's allowed. But I had some pieces up on Super Rare where I actually I had this little car that I made, and I kind of painted it with Kandinsky art. But then I put Kandinsky in the name of the type, and then it got taken, Super Rare had to take it down because they got a notice of the estate of the artist. And it wasn't completely clear to me, but it turned out like me using the imagery was not a problem because I'm turning it into like this new art piece, but actually using the name and the title, then I'm almost kind of using that name to extract value from it. So, I mean, there's already a lot of laws, but it's still so much open to interpretation. So, I mean, I don't know if NFTs can help, if the technology can help make that more clear, but it feels that now it's very unclear what's really where the line is.
I think the much more interesting model when it comes to art is poking around at the reverse. Like the artist keeps the IP. I think it makes more sense that way, but explores what to do with that, not saying this is right in all cases, not saying this should be the most popular format, but I am seeing some people say like, we're going to loop in that collector. So that collector that collects this one of one that's extra special because of XYZ, it now becomes almost a conversation with that collector. See some derivatives like maybe there's additions that happen as a step 2 that are based off of that one of one art, and then that collector is brought into that conversation. I think that's a much more interesting model. Again, not suggesting that should be the majority of cases, but that strikes me as cool. And it strikes me as making that original artwork, if that's publicized, incredibly valuable. Like, I am going to retain the IP as the artist. I am going to be making the decisions, calling the shots here. However, the person that collects this will be like looped in some way, shape, or form to that discussion and possibly be like privy to certain things in the future. That's really fascinating.
We actually have Alex D'Elia on, who does something a little bit similar. Like, I own a one of one from him, and he consults me on how the narrative of that continues within like the Discord community, as well as I think people buy one of ones from you, and then you redistribute an edition piece, right, of like 1,000, and then that person who owns the one of one gets to resell that at whatever price they would like to redistribute it out to the community.
Yeah, that's correct. Like, my main thing is making collectors a part of the story of what's going on. Like Tyler, you just recorded some audio for me that we're going to use for a burger commercial that we made in here. And I just think that's fun. And like that collector connection is something that I really value. And I think it's what's unique. And, mine's kind of different. I don't do one of ones. I don't do PFPs, but I do have something that kind of has its own economy. It's similar to what Threesomes does. And so I don't know, I'm sort of in my own bubble that's like different from the main concerns of what's going on in the NFT marketplace.
I think that's the magic, though, is you created your own sort of relationship and way you interact with your collectors, in a sense. I think a lot of us find our own special way. I mean, I speak to a lot of collectors and I consult about what the future is. If there's a museum show, I will always ask a collector that owns the piece. It's almost like in history, there were patrons to the artists, and now these collectors, to me, they're like invaluable advisors. I always seek their opinions and what they see about the future, while still staying true to what I'm trying to do. But it's also, they've invested big funds into what we do as artists. So their sense of belief into what we do gives invaluable advice.
It's really the best part, in my opinion, is the collectors and getting to know the collectors, meeting people, all these people that I've met over the last year. It's the best part. And that's why I want to include them in this narrative that's going on. Because I just feel like it makes sense. They're an equal ratio of contribution to this. I feel their interaction with what I'm creating.
I got a bounce up and dressing up, as you see.
I was wondering if you switched rooms or something.
Is that Versace?
No, it's Amy Paris.
Versace.
Versace, yeah. No, I don't know. I was told there's gonna be sex, but I mean, I'm not seeing it, so I'll
next time, rain check.
But next year I'm gonna start traveling and shit. This was a busy year, kind of slight burnout with the whole fucking NFT thing. I've been doing like constant work for like, I don't know, fucking 8 months now, so just need a break. I'm gonna start traveling, and I'm very excited to meet you fuckers around, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. Let's just get fucking wasted and shit. That'd be nice.
Let's go, baby.
Epic walk.
All right, see you later, Baka.
See ya.
Later, Baka.
We just got Lush on as well.
Oh yeah, there he is.
Oh, hey, sorry for being late. Fuck, I just woke up.
Yeah, man, it's early.
Oh yeah.
Another Aussie in the house.
Lush, Nate Hill's putting you to shame. He's up at 7:30, timely,
It looks fucked though.
I'm like on the toilet still. I just silently just go off.
I'm waiting to see the mask, bro. Where's the mask?
Sorry?
I'm waiting to see the mask. I thought you'd have a Christmas
Oh,
one.
I'm naked right now. You don't want to see this.
I'm not shy.
You just don't want to see it.
So we got a mix of hen artists and then ETH artists only. If
I
you
was going to
guys
say
had
that. Can I just give some flowers? So I want to say I think that's what's special about Alex and Threesomes, the fact that they came up on hen, where the entry point is so much easier to get into, that you can build these communities of diehard fans. Because for a while before I did my drop, the Devils lot and the Evils community was all hen, and there was so much love. And I think the moment you take that over to Ethereum, where there's a lot more money, it comes down to money and profit. There's a lot more to be played with, that you get a different sort of collector. So I think that's what's special about hen the Tezos blockchain, because the community of collectors there is just so much more accepting and like open to new ideas, and they'll come on this journey with you. They're here for you as an artist. Whereas I think on Ethereum, right now anyway, it's a lot more entitlement, and it's just seen as like another way to make money. Whereas what Bill was saying about patronage in the past of artists, I think that's happening a lot more on the Tezos blockchain than anywhere else right now.
Yeah, Kid, do you think that there's more artists collecting artists on hen?
1000%, yeah. Because it's so easy it's so hard not to. Like, when I was on hen, you just spend 200 Tez a day just on this illustrator from Thailand, or this like 3D artist from Russia that you never heard of, just because the art was amazing. And you know for a fact, if this piece was to come up on Foundation, that 0.5 ETH to kick it off, it's a lot of money. And you know for a fact that a lot of these artists that, like, I've never sold an NFT personally that I've collected, because I'm in it for the art. So it's so much easier to support artists, and and also like just give them a leg up, because there's a lot of artists on the Tezos blockchain that haven't even got like big social media presences. So just a retweet of these artists can sell them out. Like there's a guy on Tez that used to do like crisp sandwiches. He used to do like pictures of crisp sandwiches, and I just retweeted it one day, and it sold out within like a minute. And he messaged me buzzing or whatever. But you couldn't do that on Ethereum. There's just so much more fun to be had on Tezos. I mean, I miss it now. That was my down bitch.
That's what I want to hear though.
Really, it's really nice hearing that. But I mean, the fact is, like, the stuff that me and Threesomes are doing is like impossible to do on Ethereum. It would cost millions of dollars just because of how much activity we have going on any given day, you know?
Yeah, I've got, asking sometimes 5 and 10 transactions a day per collector. Gas fees would destroy these collectors. But I'll drop an addition of 30,000 tokens, and we'll burn through them in 2 weeks. 18, 20,000 transactions that there's no way in hell that could survive on ETH. So there's elements to the gas situation on Tez that let us get a little more creative with that interaction, and that sort of community building that becomes a part of the art piece as much as anything is only available by really exploring the possibilities of the blockchain with this stuff that you just don't have, where it's sort of there's that barrier to every transaction on the ETH side. And so for me right now, as I transition in ETH, it's about combining the two. Your ETH presence allows a new community in there, but the actual moves and transactions are still going to happen on the ETH side for the most part, or rather on the Tez side for the most part.
I'm trying to convert some people, so this is very helpful. Like, I would love to see all the artists I collect be on both chains. Like, I think that's awesome. I think it only grows the community, like you guys are saying.
I mean, personally, I really primarily collect ETH pieces from artists that drop on hen as well, because that's like my gateway drug to a lot of them before I make like a big investment on an ETH piece.
Yeah, I mean, and that was, we spoke to that a little bit ago with all the artists supporting artists on the Tez side. You take not just your collector community, which you develop individually, but then the Tez artists really, like Kid was saying, support each other, whether it's just a simple tweet or a highlight of what you got going on, in ways that I'm the same way. I mean, I buy the ETH pieces of people that I have in common on the Tez side. Right. And I think it's across the board like that. But it's a really unique thing because we don't have we're not a curated platform for the most part. Right. And so we do our own curation, but as a result, you know, it's kind of like I'm highlighting my own little group, and every artist is doing that same thing. And so the community, artist-wise as well as collector-wise, really becomes intermeshed in ways that you don't have when you've got the gatekeepers and the platforms that are doing most of the curation for you on the ETH side. So, you know, it's just one of those nice little gems. And obviously my project, there's no way it works. I don't have the footing that I've got in the last 6 months without starting on Hen.
Yeah, I have to say, yeah, Hin definitely introduced me to more collectors, and Sutu is the one that kind of convinced me because doing a lot of stuff on ETH. But I definitely agree that there is a difference. You can easily on-ramp new collectors because it's so cheap to like the gas fees and everything. So I loved, I mean, whatever happened, I know like Hin dropped, now it's like object.com, or what is it now? What do people use with Tez, with NFTs?
There's a few splinter groups. I mean, basically it's more fractionalized than when you were around, probably when it was just straight Hen. But you know, there isn't a clear winner yet in the you know, fragment.
Has anyone used Rarible with Tezos yet? Because they just implemented it, haven't they?
They started this week. Yeah,
Have you used it yet?
I don't need platform. I run my own stuff, so I'm staying.
All right, I'm just saying.
I feel like it's not quite ready. I feel like it's not quite ready for prime time. Once they integrate all the stuff that's been minted on Hen, then it'll really like explode, I feel, or at least get some activity. Because right now it's like it's just another separate contract. So it's hard for me to like dive in when I have this ongoing series on a pre-established contract.
Yeah, I bought a Tim Maxwell, his Genesis on Rarible on Tezos, and it's the only NFT I have on there now because it's not showing, you know, any of the other ones from the Hen contract or the object contract. I think once Tezos has like, you know, a one-stop shop that shows all of your different Tezos chain NFTs, I think that's going to reign supreme, honestly.
I mean, Tyler showed me this NFT on Tezos that kind of blew my mind because I had never seen this. Like when I first started making NFTs, I was like, it would be super cool if you could make an NFT where the collector could like draw on it and change it. Like if you owned it, like you could manipulate it in certain ways. And Tyler showed me an NFT that was like you could play a game on the NFT. Like it was like I forget what game
it was. Like Space Invaders.
Yeah, and that just blew my mind. Like I don't think you can do that on ETH, but for some reason I don't know how this shit works. But
you can mint, you can mint Unity, you can mint concept. There's so much you can do on the Tezos blockchain. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can't do that on ETH, right? You
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you'd be able to have like a collector controlled NFT if you wanted one.
So yeah, try it out. Just let us know first and we'll be ready.
I mean, if I could do that, like if I could make an NFT that was somehow controlled, you know, like collector controlled. I mean, I have one that's somewhat collector controlled, but not to the extent that the one you showed me was. I mean,
so I know that they have ones that are activated by a click. You could have a collage that would change the pieces in the collage based on how many times you press the mouse.
Yeah, that's super interesting to me.
Yeah.
I'm getting FOMO now. I want to go mint something on Hen, like the good old days.
That's my favorite thing when an ETH artist will just surprise drop something on Tez. Like, and I think everyone should do that. Just because, you know, a lot of you guys I respect and have been following for years and years, but I can't afford to collect you unless you drop on something on Tez. And then I don't know, it's just so exciting.
And you only get one shot. You get one shot at the surprise drop, and then once you're recognized, then the scripts and the bots are on you. So you get one shot to just come and put something out there, and then you claim it, and then you've got to be careful how you do it so that the scripts don't get.
Sounds kind of fun.
But that one drop is legendary. That's what's.
That's the money maker.
It's great for your collectors and fans. It's great for the Tez community to feel respected, right? The struggle that I have there, I talked with Fuckrender about this, is about what, because he's done now, he did 2 pieces on a previous wallet, and he's done 3 on this last wallet that he's on. And I've argued with him a lot about recognizing them just as a part of his over, rather than being sort of the stepchild Hen piece. And I think, that's where, if you guys are going to do this, don't separate. Don't say, well, that's just my Hes piece pricing, accordingly in the whole bit. Let it play into your whole narrative and your whole collection, I think is the key. So far, we really don't have many that have done that. It's sort of a side piece. You're my side piece.
One thing though, I think one part of that is a lot of ETH collectors won't even venture onto Tezos. So when I did the creation of Evil and it sold for the highest or whatever, and then I bought it back and burnt it, like so many collectors didn't even know that had ever been minted on Tezos before being reminted on Ethereum, and I don't think they were even bothered. Like the guy that collected in the end didn't even care. So I don't know if that's like indicative of every single collector, but I don't know. I think it's just a really good birthing ground for artists to get involved. But yeah,
but I think that changes as more and more, upper tier artists acknowledge their pieces on the chain.
Well, I mean, I think here's the thing, like if I can do something through Tezos that I can't do through ETH, but it's going to like help push my art forward, like I'm 100% willing to explore that. And I mean, definitely that eye opener from Tyler, that piece kind of blew my mind. So I was like, shit, there's definitely something to be done here. I don't know how I don't know how Roger feels about this being, primarily collecting on ETH. But I would like to hear his thoughts on this.
Yeah, me too.
I'm all for it. I'll be honest, I haven't explored it much. I'm aware of it. I've seen some of the art, but I haven't dove in myself yet. But I'm all for it. I mean, I think it's all going to be irrelevant in the future, and we'll get to the point where it's multi-chain. It's going to be seamless. It might take us some years to get there, but we will get there. And so historically, I think, yeah, it's put like was it Threesomes? I think you said this, but make it part of your narrative. Like make it a cohesive story that you're telling. If you are telling it in multiple places, that's fine, as long as it's part of that overarching narrative. That's what I care about most. So I most likely will dive in at some point, like Q1 2022. Strong chance I'll go over there and snag something just to get the experience and see where it goes.
It's a slippery slope, RD. Be careful.
Well, that's so truthfully, that's part of the issue is that I think right now one of my struggles has been the space is nuts, right? Space is nuts, and when you care a lot, it's like you could lose your head. You could be, what is it, 25-8, right? You could be 25-8 in there and just lose your mind. And so what I've been struggling to do is to figure out, like, okay, one, I can't keep up with everything. So you can't do it, so don't try. But then what am I going to focus on? So it's really like trying to whittle it down to something that makes sense and still keep up on enough things that I'm keeping myself happy. So I do know if I open that door, it's going to be a slippery slope.
I mean, I opened a Tezos store, what was it, 5 months ago, I think, or 6. And I specifically made that collection purely for the artwork. I mean, that collection is huge. And I love that it's given artists that don't have the big audiences or the funds to mint on ETH or all that stuff that a lot of us have worked hard enough, but also been lucky and blessed with. Is a space for so many artists to do sell digital art. And I think it's amazing on what's happening on that space. And I'm pretty sure it's been a few months since I bought anything on Tez, but it's on my mind, always looking out for stuff. And I mean, that entire collection is purely for my own pleasure. Nothing is going to be resold, and it's all just to be viewed on a digital screen in my house. So I think that's the beauty as well, I find with Tezos, is that it's not that much about the money. It's a lot more about the artist and the art, because you don't really hear Kid 8 did a fuck off massive headline about money on Tez. But besides that, it's appreciation purely of the art form. And a lot of artists that can't make the other platforms are getting paid, because at the end of the day, them getting paid is like fueling their tools to keep creating, in a sense.
Well said, Bill. Well said, man.
Lush, you got pants on yet?
Hello?
Nah.
Love it. Too early.
Listen. This is where I've been. Oh, you missed it.
Oh, we heard it.
I caught a little bit of that flush there.
And you're recording, right?
Flush sucks.
I'm just listening in there about the Tezos thing. Yeah,
Should try it
I
out.
don't know. I haven't like dipped into it myself, but I'm like a hair away from like going crazy. It's so too much shit to do. Like Roger was saying, like nonstop. Yeah, it's hard to like divert into other things too. You know.
Yeah, man, it's exhausting. Trying to like keep up. You know, like I'm just coming off of a massive burnout because I started this in August of, last year. So it's just like I have not stopped since. So yeah, you got to be careful. Like you can't just keep doing shit. Eventually it's going to catch up to you. So finally like got myself to take a break for a little bit. So yeah, man, this shit's exhausting for sure.
Yeah, I tried to leave this month a little bit open so I could organize a house and buy a studio and shit finally. I like kind of didn't touch any of the earnings from the year at all, man. Apart from buying some computers, like tried to do all the adult stuff this month, and it's actually even harder than the fucking doing the actual art, I'm used to not having that much capital to work with on the yearly anyway, you know what I mean? It's all a bit fucking much.
And you can't go anywhere and spend the money, so.
Yeah, well, that's why I've been trying to like all year get someone to let me buy a house with like ETH, basically. Like I found a place to sort of to get like a vehicle and a decent car and stuff with that, but the house one's a bit harder. So
you did manage to get a car with Ethereum?
No, I haven't taken the plunge yet because it's like I know that it's a stupid idea to buy a fucking car right now. Like it's better off going to like something else. Like it's better off just sitting probably in Ethereum really. But yeah, I just haven't done anything with anything all year.
Does anyone know if Fuckrender ended up buying that G35 or whatever the G wagon with ETH? Somebody sell that to him? Yeah,
he got a G wagon. I don't know if he bought it with ETH.
Yeah, I think he did bought it with ETH. He was
Oh
saying
shit,
something.
really?
Yeah.
Good for
Yeah.
him.
If you go on Twitter,
Yeah.
if you go on Twitter and say, I want to buy a car with ETH, there's a company that will DM you straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spoken from experience.
No, yeah, because
Well,
when I
yeah.
was joking about getting a Lambo, and they messaged me 3 times and said they could help facilitate it in that. But
Well, you could just sell your ETH and just buy it with fiat.
Yeah.
you know we
You
have the
still
same
have to
account.
pay
It's not that
taxes.
fucking easy.
Like, have any of you guys been getting like a shit ton of scam DMs like lately? I mean,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
this week,
Yeah.
even more and more and more.
Do you
Especially
open
on
up your Instagram? Yeah.
It's the crypto
Instagram.
queens. Have we all got the crypto queens in the DMs?
Yeah, the
Like,
500,
I said,
the
how much
$500
your
one.
boobs and
Yeah,
shit.
I got that one.
No.
The $500 one. Yep.
Yeah,
But,
I've
no,
got
but
3 of the
there's literally
$500
crypto
one.
queens. They're the best. Shout out to all my crypto queens. Life.
Yeah, dude, I'm just like so scared to like click links now. Like even if
Yeah,
it's
fuck
even
that.
if it's somebody I know and there's like a link, I don't even click it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight to spam.
Yeah, try
Yeah.
entering super rare with a third R, and it takes you to this sketchy website. And I was like, fuck, I'm done. Like my MetaMask is probably gone. But no, I'm fine. It's
And
scary.
remember on MetaMask to sign out, because over a year we've signed up to a lot of websites and it doesn't sign you out. It's still
Yeah.
stored in MetaMask.
Has
That's good
anyone got
advice.
hacked? Yeah. I
I did it this week and I had to sign out of 40 websites.
Wait,
Oh my God.
how do I do that?
Yeah.
The
come on.
website that makes you
MetaMask
sign
and
out
there's
of
the
all of
top
them.
3 dots, connected sites.
Ah,
Just trash them all.
damn, I did not know that.
Jesus Christ, right.
Because if they get hacked, then you got issues.
Oh shit, I'm connected to a fuck ton of stuff.
Let's go.
Thanks for the tip. I'm doing it right now.
Hey, what's that website again?
The Mechaverse, we can get that to fuck.
Yo,
Anybody
guys,
get
I
a
have to bounce.
Everyone's doing it right now.
see you later, Steph. Thanks for the
lovely
breakdown.
People.
Good luck
Peace,
tomorrow.
dude.
No worries.
Bye, babe. Love
Nice
you.
one.
Cheers.
Give Morrow a
Getting
kiss for
broke
us.
tomorrow. I will do. Stay
Man.
safe. Don't get in trouble with the taxes.
Bye, bud.
I'll see everyone soon. Bye, guys.
Yeah, guys, I need to shoot 2 on that epic safety note because all of you are got to delete websites off your MetaMask.
Hell yeah.
I'm literally
See you later,
doing it
Bill.
right now, bro.
Well, happy holidays to everyone and Merry Christmas and all that.
Happy
Merry
holidays,
Christmas,
Billie
mate.
Eilish.
Happy holidays.
Later.
Anyways,
Layers.
yes. Signing off as well, guys.
Bye,
Thanks so
mate.
much.
Hey, Dirk.
We'll just shut her down then.
No, it's a shame Krugman's not here because there was a scam like when Krugman did his first race with his drive cars, someone did the first fake RD account that I know of and tried to scam him out of a quarter ETH, and he actually like smashed the person back and messed with them because he figured it out. But like they took the icon, they took the name with like 1 letter off and all that stuff. There's crazy stuff going on.
Yo, one time I was on Discord and this guy pretended to be fuck render, and so I was like, I sent the photo, like a screenshot of what was happening to Fred, and he's like, "Oh, get me in the conversation with him." And so we started fucking up like the guy because like they were both fuck render and they were just talking to one another, and then the guy just. He was starting to say like really mean shit to Fred, like, oh, you don't deliver on your projects, you're worth nothing, your art is shit, and all that stuff. Not kidding. So I don't know what was the goal of that person there, but it was incredibly funny to have like such a plot twist happening with that scammer. So we made it worth.
You know you made it when you're being impersonated in Discords and Twitters and stuff.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, guys.
We're
Well,
still just deleting these fucking meta.
Yeah, literally, like I'm just going through. I just got to G-Vols now, bro. Shall I leave that one in now?
Chubbies. Can everyone remember Chubbies?
Chubby. This is it, bro. It's just like every project that you've lost money on is just in this list, bro. Everything you've ever lost money on is here now. It's like, I don't even want to look at it. I'm just going through it as quick as possible.
Sort it out.
Well, thanks for having us, boys. I'll shoot off as well. It's been a pleasure, and thanks for everything you do in the community, you boys.
Hey, I appreciate it. We enjoyed having everybody on.
Was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Continue.
Take care, all.
Happy holidays.
Thanks, guys.
On to a new year. We'll talk to everybody again soon.
This was good.
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
holidays,
Yes.
everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Take care.
We'll cut out all the tax stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Block it out.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
There you go.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.